Yay! Good morning! Oh, tilt that a bit. Good morning! Welcome to Sunday Morning Coffee, number 227, 227th time I've come here. How many of you have come to? I think there's some that have done all 227, so thank you. If you've not been here before, this is our weekly show where I do a little roundup of what's been going on, and anything interesting, and the various sort of Squiddo news, and see what's been happening. There's lovely people in the comments, and it's nice and chill. So my menu for today. Morning, lots of people in the chat. Things today we'll be talking about. From the thumbnail, you may have guessed pirates. Finally put all my pirate books away, but why were they out? Ooh. Yes, Evil Ginger. Nice. Trying to get a bet going on how late I am, but here I am, right on time. I've actually been up for a while. I'm up, showered, wearing actual clothes, not in my pajamas today. I've been having a full weekend. And so we've got pirates to chat about, Olga to chat about, um, boring bad Squiddo bits, but I won't go many boring. Only a brief drizzle over the boring. um, secret meetings, secret photographs, and yeah, and community minis and all sorts. So the mug reveal, I have the big mug today. Unfortunately, Mr. Honest Wargamer has demanded his mug back. And I said no, but Andy took it back. I thought if I leave it unwashed, then Andy won't take it. But then Andy washed it to take it back. Traitor. So I no longer have the Honest Wargamers mug. Today I'll be using a Fenris Games mug, although I may have put it a bit too hot. Look at the weird world. Look at that. So, nice big mugs to get going. We have got books to show as well. There's all sorts going on. If you're thinking, "Wow, Annie, your hair is nice and curly," sure is. This is what it's supposed to do. Um, it's when I just actually let it dry without having to run around whilst it's drying or anything. This is just it. Just washed my hair this morning and then I sat around. So that's what happens. Look at that. So the Raging Annies are correct. Um, yes, that lad Andy is very dicey. He's very dicey. So where will I begin? Pirates, I guess. So I'm in a very nice mood today, and this is partly because I've caught up with a bunch of stuff. Um, I have had a very, I think I said last week, I've had a very full plate of late, and I'm getting to the end of the mega full plate. It's still always busy, but that's good because I want to be busy because that means people want my things. Yep, figures, mugs, pirates, and hairdressing advice. Exactly. What do you need? Um, So I finally, community minis, nearly there. So if you have looked at the blog, you might not have noticed because of algorithms and such, but I think there's a link below. You can do a like while you're there. Um, and it's the blog for the Community Miniatures project. So all the big updates and proper updates I put on there. So it's just one place where you can follow it all. And you are aware that the last three minis were supposed to be June, but they're happening now. So that's been something that's been very stressful, thinking, I've got to do this, got to do this, but I've also got to do all of these things. And there's a lot, there's a lot that's been on, but I've done it. So again, thank you very much. After the next one is when we do it's going to be relaunched, and there will be one at a time, which I think will make everything a lot smoother. The reason we're doing multi at a time was to catch up from that initial burst. Um, but it will be less of a sort of a big thing that needs to require brain. And if you followed me for any sort of time, you know that I can concentrate on one thing at a time, which when I run a business and have to do lots of different things, it is a bit of a torture. But I'd have to do that anywhere. So it's nice to have to stretch my brain for Bad Squiddo rather than for, someone else's company. So I cannot complain. I cannot. So I finished the design for the pirates. So Mary, Reed, and Anne Bonny. Was I talking about this last week? last week I was struggling with the pose for Mary Read, and I showed you what I'd got, but that I wasn't that on it. And also that I'd been spying on pirates to see what sort of thing I'd like. So then I did look a bit more at other pirates. As a side note, I really like North Star's pirates. I was looking because I sometimes just go, what have other people done? So I look at what other people have done, and I look at large scale statues. Um, and I messaged Nick and went, "Your pirates are really good." And then he was just like, "What do you want?" Like nothing. I'm just saying they're really good. I like them. From the pirates I've been looking at, they are very nice pirates. We're still like, what's your angle? Oh, I don't have an angle. I don't always have an angle, mostly. Um, so yeah, if you ever need more pirates to pad out, they will probably fit pretty well as well. Um, Trying to find like 18th century pirates that aren't fantasy pirates was quite a task. So to see them in sort of realistic piratiness was good. So what was I on? So last show I'd come back from BritCon. Oh, it was the evening. That was a nice meal last week. These also working out now. So I do pirated. I'm gonna have a sip of coffee. That'll get it going. I was still stuck on exactly the details for Mary because Anne was pretty much designed. And then I was like, shall I just copy someone else's pose? Because it's not really. And then I had a thought about doing a pose book of the 10 acceptable poses for miniatures cast in one piece. But in the end, I didn't. That's not something I tend to do. Again, it's just me being entirely open, going, I'm really stuck. These poses totally work. I think I said last time was like sword in the air, gun on leg, gun in the air, sword on leg, to try and figure it out. But instead, I found a pose that I liked from one of the stock imagery, and it was somebody shooting a modern pistol. And I went, actually, if I so I drew. That's what happens. But I thought, yeah, I'm gonna make it work. What I want rather than finding something that works. I don't know if that makes any sense. So I found a woman shooting a pistol, and then I sorted her other arm out to be this is not quite right. So you can see in it going, so I put some notes going, Alan, just make that work. But the general gist is she's shooting and she's holding the sword there. But she's also not shooting like that because that's where the mold line's going to go. If you look to the link underneath, there's community minis and you'll see what I'm talking about. And I was happy with that, and I changed her clothes up a bit because I wanted them to be simple, but I didn't want it to be a boring figure because what's going on? No, no, no. Let me turn that off. The landlords are making me reapply to where I live, which is absolutely outrageous. And I'm getting daily notifications saying you need to apply. But something. They will not ruin my zen of the weekend with the fear that I'll somehow get turfed out or Andy will become the lead tenant. That'd be the worst because then he'll kick me out. But yeah, landlords, yay. So where are we at? Pirates. Because I wanted it to be quite simple because she's a deckhand. She's well, not deckhand. She's quite higher up, but she's on the ship basically. Whereas Anne has gone to shore and she's in her fancy sort of stuff and going, "Ooh, I'm not a pirate." Whereas whereas Mary Read is on the ship and doing piratey things. So she's in a different get-up, so that you can also just swap them around if you like, rather than having two pirates the same. There's one in shore gear and one in ship gear. But yeah, ship gear is not as fancy. So where am I at brain? Yeah, I was worried that the figure might come out boring. So I was trying to find ways of keeping it historical and still cool, and I think I've pulled it off. Um, and I think she's going to look pretty good. So all of that is done. The design for those two is done. The blog write-up for the design is done, so you can follow my more articulated brain process on that. and the briefs. So I wrote up more than that and get some photo references and all that, and then send that to Alan. Alan is starting them tomorrow. Yes. It will take him like no time at all. So what I need to do is the next miniature. So that's the final one. All already. Evil Ginger says that's illegal. The tenancy should roll over the fixed term. Yeah, it's weird. The landlords don't like self-employed people. So it was hard enough when I moved here, and it was a whole debacle with them going, but you're self-employed. Um, and I fear that I'm going to have to do it again. But I live here and I've paid my rent for 6.5 years, so I don't know why they. It's because Andy is being added. I don't know. Andy's been added to the tenancy. So to add him, they have to then. They're like, oh, we need to redo you, and it's like it's a fresh. And I don't know if they want like more deposit because the rent's got. Yes, no, not today. Tomorrow, me will deal with that. Um, but it is enraging. I hate how you're constantly at this weird war with landlords when it's just be like, I'm living in this thing. I'm doing my part of the deal. I am a dream tenant. Everything is kept very nicely. Um, but it's always like they're trying to get you somehow, and it's so unhealthy. And it is a source of background stress. But I'm going to try not to think about it. Also, I am going to see what that other one was, though, in case I've got a heckle. What was that? What was that? Got a heckle. Sorry, just read it. Just don't mind me. Just reading my message. Reading my messages. So got. Oh, Mike's here. I showed Mike a video tour of my garden yesterday. So it is lovely. I'll talk about my gardening in a bit. That'll make me happy, not landlords. Shark plays bolt action. Been building Red Army forces of your Russian women troops. Could you make some operating anti-aircraft artillery? Yes, that is the short answer. When is uncertain. It won't. I don't like that we're in the end of the year, so it won't be. The year's too late now. But hopefully next year. I know a lot of things I say hopefully then, and then they don't quite happen. But that's something that I really want to do. So yeah, yeah. Rob's been told he's getting the Spanish Civil War for quite a while. It will all happen. In fact, this is a good time to mention. Been on one of these books I was reading last night, going, "Damn, good timing." But also, I was adding some books to my Amazon wish list, which is links. And so because ages ago, one of the first books I did was English Civil War, and I was really keyed up to do a bunch of English Civil War stuff. And then I spoke to this English Civil War reenactor guy just at some event talking about what I wanted to do. And he was so weird and creepy that it put me off the whole the English Civil War. Obviously, that's not, it's not for life, but it was just one of those times where I thought, you know what, I know, no, um, but I'm back on it. But again, it won't be anytime soon. But I'm hoping to get a few characters sort of done, and maybe community minis. So women all on fire. It's one I saw at the library and then managed to find on what's it called? Not Abe, Wicked Books or something. Awesome Books. Hello. Nope, not going to sit and read a book. She did what? See, that was one of my book haul. I bought the one because I saw it really cheap and thought I'd just get it. And then I put a load more on the old Amazon wish list. Good books in there. And also, I'll go and it could be a natural segue, as they say, into this book which arrived yesterday. I had never heard of this book. I'm sure people probably sent me it a million times and I assumed I had it or something. So I started reading. I was reading this last night while Andy was playing Resident Evil. So I was half going, oh, there's a guy over there. Oh, he needs to health, mix a herb. I'll be damned. I did not know that. Yep, kill him. He's the He's playing what I can't remember which number Resident Evil we're on. I'm the handy like co-pilot that just points things out. Um, it can't be five. Maybe it's five. It's the ones where the people's heads turn into these like. So keep calling it windmilling. So like, there's a windmiller. There's one of them's windmilling over there. He's got a Molotov. Yeah, whilst also going. Hmm. um. So so yeah, this book arrived, and to be fair, I realise now I bought it because I was searching for some information on Olga, which I'll also get into in a sec. And this book come up, and I went, "Oh, just a general like Viking warrior woman book I don't have," so I bought it, and it's got some really good stuff in it. And then I was looking up Nancy Marie Brown last night as well, doing an author check, and she seems to be a pretty good one. So I haven't done any proper reading of it because there were um, Umbrella Corporation created monsters going on at the same time. So I was just kind of flicking around, but it's got Olga. So one of my questions at the moment is it Olga of Kiev or Olga of Kiev? I'm going with Kiev so far, but because I'm really crap on the sort of reasoning, I've been out of it. So if you'd like to comment, I assume everyone's sort of going by Kiev now. I just need to change it in my mind because it's always been Kiev. And then it's the Kievan Rus is that time period. So it's all things where you read things, but then you don't know how to say them out loud. So I've been researching her, and her story is amazing. And I could barely find any information. So I could barely find anything online. Or there were loads of articles, but they're all come from. It's almost like they've all come from the same article, and on YouTube, it's all come from the same source. So they're nice articles, but they're not academic. They're all just a bit like what I write, basically. Someone going, here's a woman that you haven't heard of, and she's really badass, and it just kind of goes into that. But I wanted a bit more than what she did, and I just couldn't find it. So when I was searching, this book came up. I went, oh yeah. So there's a little bit more in that, but the most of so this all this information is on uh nah, brain my blog. It's all on the blog. Um, but I've got yeah. So hang on, I forgot where I was. I forgot where I was. Yeah, because it's Kiev, but back then there was no Russia or Ukraine. But I guess if it was Kiev then it would still be Kiev. I'm just really not clued in on the politics of that area, so I want to make sure I get it right. Um, Especially with obviously what's going on at the moment. But yeah, that's it. So do let me know if you know stuff about it. Um, but yeah, that area of Belarus, Western Russia, and Ukraine, which is now those areas, was Kievan Rus. This is something I don't know anything about. So, right, I've just got one more to do on Friday. I was like, just got Olga to do, and I went, oh, that's quite like out of what I know because there's always the correct terms as well. So I know it's called early medieval, but more people kind of click in their brain when you say Dark Ages or Viking Age. Um, so the western part of that era is I really don't know anything about it. So I had to do quite a lot of learning. So I'm still possibly of all the stuff I've been researching, one where I'm still like, am I right? So the Varangians and all that, and Igor. Um, so I was learning a lot about that rather than the what she might have looked like. So once I've gone into the what she might have looked like, it's just even more vague. But I found there's a PDF online. Do not point in. There's a PDF online of the English translation of the Primary Chronicle. So I did message a few people going, what's your thoughts on the Primary Chronicle? So it's kind of like the saga from the east to do the never eat shredded wheat, obviously. Um, so bit of coffee. Sorry, bit of coffee. Bit of coffee before I enter this. What's I talking about? And I still struggle to mix those two images in the same sort of era of that sort of Byzantine and then the you know what I mean? I don't know because I'm what I am very open to admitting is my history knowledge is generally terrible because it means that I get to blame the UK education system. So this is all things that I'm learning off my own accord. So there's going to be quite a sometimes it's quite a lot of a bit of a jump because I'm like, hang on, obviously you get taught about Vikings, but you don't really like. Here's some pots. They came to Lindisfarne. There's that. There's all of that era. You know, there's not travelling outside of that sort of small area. So I've been doing quite a lot of reading. So the Primary Chronicle is the main source of writings from sort of then. It was like a little bit afterwards. It's been sort of rewritten, illustrated because there's all these different chronicles after it. This is very much a case of the me being one lesson ahead thing. So I'm saying these things for going, I think, because it was only Friday I was going through this. And I know that it's some people's specific, you know, like this is my bag, this is my area. And if that's you, let me know. Because yeah, trying to find clothing and information like that. So I was phoning various people going, is it lamella? Are they going to have lamella or male? Well, no, they did have lots of male. I'm like, the lamella looks cool. Can I have lamella? Um, so trying to figure out what she's going to look like. I've got the pose sorted at least for her. The pose reference, she goes backwards, is wheeling backwards. The pose reference is the Night King in Game of Thrones. There's a point where he raises loads of the dead, and he just does that like standing there really sort of dead faced, and then it's like ah. So, so that's what she's going to be doing, but with the winds of pigeon. So I want the wind behind her with her dress sort of like push-ups. Bit like what are they called in Chaos? Zinch? Not monsters of Zinch. Those like little whirlwindy fellows. Flamers! Flamers of Zinch. A bit like a flamer of Zinch with pigeons. Um, go like, so maybe some pigeons sort of coming off here or coming off. If she's got, she'll probably have a wimple sort of thing on. So maybe some pigeons sort of attached because it's a one piece. So they're going to be like, so they can be spread out like on shoulder and stuff. So I can see that in my head. I can't see what she's wearing. Oh, sorry. I'm shunting into it. I can't see what she's wearing because I've seen quite a few different depictions, but again, it's like, oh, what is this based on? But it's going to be some sort of long dress and cloak. And then I was thinking, is she going to have armor on? Because I kind of want her fighty. Um, um, I kind of want a fighty because she's not probably not going to be there in the combat or anything, but she's still on the battlefield. So I just feel like you'd probably have some armor on, and there aren't any minis of that. And kind of yesterday, I started thinking about doing two minis, doing the community mini and doing her in the robe with the pigeons, and then doing another one where she's in like full Varangian armor because I thought that would be really cool, and that'd be a good selling sort of alternative warlord sort of miniature. Um, warlord as in warlord for like a game like Saga, because yeah, there's plenty of the Western. Yeah, I do have to do the never eat shredded wheat. The Western Viking stuff. Again, I know it's not the right word. So I'm always like, but also it's easy. People know what it means. Um, so there's more of that. You know, I've got Brynhilda and all that, but I kind of want to do a fighty warlord from the east. I think that'd make a really cool MIDI. And then later on, I could just do the pack of two once the community mini card things are sort of spent. What do you think? Obviously means me spending more money, but I think it would be a good one. I think it'd work, and I think then that'd stop me doing her in a dress with armour on top because I could just do both rather than sort of mash it together. Um, if I do, I'd possibly design them both now while it's all still in my mind, and then just get Alan to do those as 4 miniatures. What do you think? What do you think? Morning green stuff games. Um, so we have another sip. So that's community miniatures chat. That was 25 minutes talking community minis. A low count of people today. It's because the drama has passed. We're like, oh no, she's happy. We don't want that. Or you're just off doing stuff, probably. Mm-mm. So let me move through. So blog updated. So keep an eye on the blog. If you do have WordPress, you can subscribe as well. Oh, Baltic Empire. Let me write that down. Because I kind of wanted some stuff to have on in the background, but there's so little factual things on Olga. Your choice. But if I look at that time in general, especially then I just to see what sort of clothing and how it'd be done. Also, when it's the armor. So I was looking at statues of Igor, her husband, who got horrifically murdered, and her son, whose name I cannot remember. It's not Stanislav. It's more complicated than that, and it's something that I need to learn how to say. But I can't think of it off the top of my mind. But he became very famous also, and obviously that's only a little bit later on. So I was kind of seeing what armor he's portrayed in, but just trying to find some information is hard. So yeah, I'm going to check out that Baltic Empire guy. We got yes. Shark says, not as popular, but Mongolian, Chinese, Indian aristocratic women. Yes, yes, they are happening. Shark, are you aware of the Community Miniatures projects, or is this just been a bit of a nonsense ramble? Because again, I'm never quite sure how much people know about things. But the Community Minis project is really good for nominating specific one-off sort of characters. But it will be being relaunched. But if you look in the thing below, there's a link to the blog that's got the information. But I'm going to relaunch it after Olga and see and start it a bit more simple, because you'll see in there that I've kind of gone, it was all quite complicated. But the gist of it is always going to be that you nominate who you'd like as a miniature, people vote, then it gets made. But somewhere you've got to chuck a fiver in. So, somewhere along the way. So I've got to figure out how it's going to be relaunched. But now I've got a bit of, or coming up to being able to have a bit of brain, I'm going to be doing that. But you can look back through it and just see who else has been made. All of the miniatures stay forever. What is what I need to mention is that the first 100 that you get these lovely collector cards. The first 100 are price locked at a fiver, but after that 100, some of them are going to be changing in price. I can't remember if I've already increased Joan of Arc. I think there's like 2 left of the special edition one, but she's going up to 6, for example. So that's another initiative to get in sort of sooner. But they're all, the first 100 are always going to be a fiver. But yeah, as time goes on, I think you might need to be a bit more than that. So that's the dealio. I'll do a video as well when I do a relaunch, and I'll probably even do a fancy video where I can point at stuff and go, here is how it works. So I mean, yeah, it's really good for those sort of one-offs, and sometimes it starts. Oh yeah, I purposely ignored Adam's. If Olga had chickens instead of pigeons, would she be the mother of Chicken Kiev? Yes, she would. So there, Chicken Olga. What was I saying? Community Minish project. Yeah, yeah, it's good for those sort of one-offs, and sometimes one figure will then spur me on to do a bit more around it. So it's a good, if you want me to do something, it's a good way of, because I'll obviously start doing the research and go, damn, this is interesting. So for example, like Joan of Arc got nominated and won, and it's one single piece mini. But then I researched, I went, "I want Joan of Arc on a horse," so that just gets made. Doom, boom. In the same way that I'm probably gonna make 2 Olgas. So sometimes you get more bang from your buck. So it's always worth it, especially if something you're really passionate about. Um, I've been thinking about Discords, and I don't know, not anytime soon, don't worry. Um, but I was gonna do a poll in Baggy's Cave. I did one a while back of like Discords. If I opened a Discord, would you move all your posting there? Would you post equally still between the two? Or do you not use Discord and would be left behind? Because I've been talking to a few people about how Discord's kind of the new Facebook groups with the new forums, and now Discord's the new Facebook groups. But it's just so hard to get people to see things. Discord's pretty good for that because there's no algorithm. It's free. Um, mm, yeah, Olga was pretty cool. She was pretty cool. I phoned a few people up this week, including talking to Andy in the house and going, "Let me tell you of Olga of Kiev. Here is the tale." And then it's like, and then you thought that they probably would have learned not to trust her, but she did it again. So yeah, she's been really, really interesting. So we've got this, we've got that. Alan is sculpting, yes. So I want to get her design done hopefully today, if not tomorrow. I'm very tired, which I'll tell you about in a minute. Um, and then they can all go straight to the caster. So I can do that. And then as soon as they're sculpted, I can get Marty to do the artwork for the cards, get the cards together. So it could be September, it may be October. Um, but we shall see. Hopefully September. Depends on everyone else's schedule, because obviously Marty doesn't drop everything to do that, but he's usually pretty quick. So hopefully September. So I need to update that stuff on the website, and contact some people who are probably like, "Where the heck is my stuff? It's way past June." So again, thank you for that. So Cube. Um, Other than this, yeah, I'm still not 100% on Discord, but I've been using it more in other people's, and I kind of like it, but it's quite confusing. So that's, yeah, because I don't want to. If I opened the Discord, I wouldn't then want to make Baggy's Cave be really quiet because people had gone over there. So I think for now, at the very least for now, I'd stay there. Also, it needs more moderating on Discord as well. So Olga, I've got the new book, I have a new book, got Claire's. Yeah, soon I'll be caught up. Yes, the dream. Um, Other than like the last couple days, I've had a terrible week. I've had such a terrible week. What's that? Oh yeah, that's another thing you might be able to help me with. So my internet at work is so bad. I posted on Twitter, it was 4 megabytes upload speed. And the house is like, oh, Rules of Carnage. Check them out. Get them in the get their comments. Thank you very much. I always like to. Was it rules? I wrote rules in comments. Rules of Carnage. Dull. Um, but the saved the week. I think that was the positive. The working is 4 megabytes. The house is like 550 because we have super internet here. But four, what is this? So it's been really difficult to work because it just keeps, when you're doing something and it doesn't save because you realise the internet's gone, and then you have to refresh the page that you're working on, but you lose everything and it's just been winding me up. I've been outside with the, the modem going, and why is Lenton Business Centre in a black spot of no internet? I do not understand. It's always been pretty terrible. It's the last couple of weeks got so bad, and intermediate internet I think is possibly the most rage-inducing thing for anybody. Um, so so it's just yeah, the internet's so bad, but it's a mobile internet I have in the office, because when I moved in I checked out all the options and I knew it was pretty terrible around there, which is really frustrating because it's surrounded by all the fiber optic, but it hasn't just quite got there. um and it worked out. I'm sure at the time I realised that getting a mobile internet was better than wired internet. And because my office used to be Warlord's server room, there's sockets everywhere, and I don't know what the actual socket would be anyway. So it was fine, but whenever it was a bit crap, I'd just use my phone because I've got loads of data on the phone. So it never was that much of an issue. Like, oh, it's not working, I'll use my phone. But now my phone's not really got internet in my office either. So it's like all of the 4G. And again, I get a bit, I don't know about this stuff anymore. I used to. Um, so basically, 4G is now absolutely terrible to the point of almost unusable. Like the fact that I can barely get my phone to work there now is wild. Um, and someone at North Star said, because everyone else is smart and just has proper wired internet. Um, Someone at North Star said it's to do with 5G, like the area's switched to 5G, and that 5G is really good, which means that 4G's not as good. Like, I don't know. And at this point, you just say there's not enough internet to go around, and I go, okay, I guess it's that. I don't know. Um, but when I checked on the coverage area, it said there's no 5G here. So I don't know if we're just like it's leaking over. I don't know. I don't know how it works. So I don't know whether to look into getting a 5G router or just getting the wired internet, which means that I have to move all my furniture out and try and figure out where the port is, which isn't the worst. It's just, you've got a list of stuff to do, and you're like, I don't want to do that. But the internet is so bad that I've been coming home once I've done the orders. I've been coming home this week after Wednesday. Tuesday, I worked from home on purpose. Wednesday, I stormed home in a mood, going, the internet. And then I worked from home Thursday, and then I came home early Friday, so that I could get some actual, because I had to do stuff on the blog, and that's where the intermittent internet, as well as having to upload photos, and it's just taking it. It's so bad. It's so bad. Don't worry, it's not just Annie rants about internet for an hour. The thing. It's just been perplexing, but I haven't had enough energy to sort of deal with it. So I've just been going, I'm going home. I'm going home, get out of this hell zone. But I really like being in my office. So it'd be ace if it actually had internet. Peter says the 4G may have had its bandwidth reduced. Yeah, that's the sort of thing that makes sense to me. So I'm guessing something like that. But it's just so bad, like really bad. Because I used to have really good signal on my phone in the office, and now it's just not. I don't know if it's anything to do with lots of student places. I don't know. Again, don't know. Mm. Um. Uh. Also, my body has been trying to kill me this week. And it's one of those like, shall I say the thing? Doesn't really matter. I've had a horrible period this week. And that combined with the low internet, I'm surprised I haven't actually killed anybody. Um, but that's also been like, it's just one of those things where it's like I've lost nearly a week here from being in a lot of pain. So that's also why I hadn't really got much done, because I've been having a bit of a rough time with it this week. But the good thing, which is why this isn't a sad stream, is that I just that's what I really like about being self-employed, is you can just make it work. So I was like, it's not I'm not doing well at the office last week. So I'm going to work from home in my pajamas, or I have everything I need, including internet. So I did actually get loads of stuff done. Um, so like loads of stuff. Yeah, thank you for mentioning it and go, oh, I'm sorry, I'm really not well. It's the period. Pajamas, like it's fine, it's just a thing. But yeah, what is it? What could have been an absolute failure of a week, I managed to salvage, and that's the plus. But I was very grateful this week of being self-employed and being able to make those accommodations for myself. So nearly end of my notes. Oh yeah, so I had I had a meeting this week. I can't do the eyebrow. I had a meeting um, with a big company, a big wargames company, and it went really well. Unsurprisingly, because I am so charming, obviously. I can't say who or what yet because we need to do paperwork and stuff. But that's potentially. I'm still like I never get excited till the thing is signed till it's done. Um, but that's really cool. So ooh, Jez stabbing himself. Oh, right next to the I'm glad you did not stab yourself. What's a clicker's leather knife? Is that the how do they is that a brand? I don't know. But I'm glad you didn't stab yourself to death. I forgot what I was talking about. What was I talking about? Meeting, yes, the meeting went really well, and that is something that is actually really exciting. I'm just doing my thing where I'm like, till it's happened, it has not happened. So that was really cool. So although I cannot say, Lucy had a meeting with HR about your absence in the office. I didn't do that. Or doing the sort of TikTok thing where you have like one person talking like this, and then you've just got a cap on and responding. Um, so yeah, the meeting went really well. There's going to be some more meetings, but I'm hopefully going to be doing a collaborative piece with like a big. So that's why I go a big, like a proper big, not GW. Obviously, everyone always goes oh GW, but that's actually really cool news. So hopefully that's all going to work. Um, and I've been taking. Oh, here we are. It's a curved blade designed to cut skin. Oh yeah, leather. Yeah, duh. Because I was like, well, that's what you get. Okay, cool. Okay, cool. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. I'm very glad that you didn't skin yourself too badly. Um, Friday, I was taking lots of photos for a book. Woo! And I don't think I can say what book yet either. Though it may be obvious. It's not obvious. It's an Osprey book, and it's just some some just pictures as they need to pad it out and do examples. So I had a few briefs to sort of take, and I took a lot of photos. I took way more than I needed, but it means that I've now got some more cool pictures of my minis. So you might have seen a couple of those sort of floating about. I'm so happy with the vampire one; they look so cool. So I've been running around doing that. I think it was Friday. Um, so yeah, somehow it's been a really busy week, but it's been a really good week overall. So it started a bit crappy, but I'm in a good enough mood that I'd go, right, this can continue to be crappy, or I can salvage it. And I'm in quite a good like let's get stuff done. Um, so getting the community minis done. So I've just got that last bit to do, which really hope I can get done today. That's a huge load off my brain because all these things that have had deadlines and or like things that are way past the deadline. So I don't what I wanted, I think I said last week, I want to go in the office and go, right, what am I doing today? And that be it. Whereas it's just been like, right, the day's gone. Just from going to the things. So yeah, there's been quite a lot I've been working on, and a lot of them are things I can't say about at the moment, or they're just boring background things. Or the administration of running a company is just like, why am I doing these? I want to be doing the cool things, like the designing the minis, please. So I'm hopefully at a bit where I can breathe. So because of that, I had an Annie day yesterday and it was absolutely lovely. I took myself to the garden centre. I stroked 5 cats. I was thinking, is stroke's the word? Well, it's not struck, is it? I didn't go and strike 3 cats, 5 cats. Um, so the garden centre in Nottingham's got loads of cats, and they're just so nice. So I did that. Um, I Yeah, that's Evil Genius says need someone to do the business admin. at some point when I can reach that, because people go, "Oh, you should get someone to help packing." That's fine, but I want a PA. I want a PA. That would help, especially with my brain struggling to deal with stuff all the time. Someone to go, right, you're doing this now. Now you're doing this. Oh, that would be the dream. So that's the goal. That's a good goal to have. Um, so yeah, I went to the garden centre, came, had a lovely breakfast. Then we're back in the cafe, had a bit of cake, some like coffees. Yeah, I did like whatever Annie would like to do today, she may do. So I went into the garden once I got back. I had to pile a load of plants into an Uber. So thank you very much to that man, because I was thinking, oh God, he's gonna turn up and just drive off again. And he did go, where are you putting them? In your boot, maybe. I was like, I've boxed them. So I took loads of plants back home and spent the afternoon digging, sawing. But I had all the tools out. Everything was out. Built a new border, a new raised bed. Put a load of plants in. Sorted my plants out. It just makes me so happy. The garden centre is absolutely my happy place. So it's got cats, nice food, nice drink, nice people, and plants. And it's just one of those lovely sort of family-run places, and it's just really nice. And it's like one of those things that gets my brain to actually not be busy, because that's quite quite a torment. Um, did actually, oh yeah, another good thing is that, talking of which, I finally got a bit of paperwork for ADHD assessment. Woo! But I've got to fill the paperwork in now. But that means I got somewhere with that, because I'm pretty sure that's a huge part of my brain really struggling to function a lot of the time, because it is just an absolute crowded room in there. So what is really nice is that doing the garden and just being like, that plant um, really helps. So I had such a nice day yesterday. Robert says, try and make a point of reserving Sunday for self-care / self-indulgence, starting with you guys. Oh, thank you. That's really nice. Are you in the cafe? Are you normally in a cafe when you do that? So is that part of it? Do you have a breakfast in the cafe? Um, so yeah, I had such a nice day yesterday. I was going to do a bit of work, and I thought, no, not doing any work. Just gonna chill. Today I'm probably gonna do half and half, because I've got a lot. I've still got a lot to do before. I've got lots of loose ends and bits to do now. Definitely emails that are so far behind. So I'm gonna chill out and drink some coffee and reply to some emails, do some bits and bobs to get them off the list. Um, and then hopefully have a pretty action-packed next week. It'll be PeachCon on Sunday. I don't know if anyone's going to that. That's Peachy's Discord / Patreon meetup, I think. So I'm going to go to that. I think it's Sunday. So that would be nice to get out and about. But what was really lovely about this weekend is that I had no plans. As much as I've loved the last couple of weeks, playing games and hanging out with people, to just have, like, I don't have to do anything today, and there's nobody to disappoint. I just do what you like, Annie. So definitely gonna go out on the hammock today as well. I think I'll do the mid ground, because I want to read a bunch of this, and that does count as research for Olga. So I can do that on the hammock, which would be lovely. Um, oh, Genesis painting minis, making terrain. It's that brain calm for me. So Squiddo helps folks feel that chill for lots of folks, which is very cool. Yes. Um, oh, Robert is at home. Oh, you're moving shortly. Good luck. Off to coffee in a bit. Nice, nice. Oh yeah, yeah. So you don't have to deal with the landlords making you reapply to where you live next week, Annie. It's next week. They better not try and get like another deposit or something off me. So when I moved here like 3 months later or something, they sold. Oh, Bosworth, hang on. They sold to a different landlord. So their excuse is, oh, your agreements are with the old landlord. I'm like, get to somewhere. Simon says Bosworth for the battle. Is that the let me look now. Da-da-da. Is that the usual? Because I forgot about that. Hang on. Again, Annie looks at phone. Medieval Festival, Saturday to oh. Oh. Oh, Bosworth or PeachCon. Could go on the Saturday. I think Peach is on the Sunday. Yeah. Yes. For a few centuries, but now I reckon they're finished. They're still going. They're still going. Oh, because I really wanted to go last year and then realised that it wasn't on. Um, I might go. I might go to that. Yeah, yeah, John's there. Um, no, that's on now. That's now, I think. Hang on. Am I just constantly missing stuff? Yeah, you wanna check that? Sorry, I think that's today. Oh, I keep missing things. Um, yeah, it's the 18th of August. Oh, because I've been meaning to go down there because John, who's one of us, um, he's in Baggy's Cave. He works there, so it's always nice to go see him. And I want to do the visitor centre again because I've done that for ages. I got some really good photos when I went before because I enjoyed it more than Tewkesbury, partly because I worked at Tewkesbury for a long time, so I've got all that baggage there. Um, oh, it's the Bosworth war game next weekend. Um, oh, Sharky's at Bosworth now. Can I go? Um, although to be fair, I probably just because it would have been my fourth weekend in a row doing something. I'd probably be going, oh, I don't know whether to go to Bosworth. Um, yeah, hi Sharky at Bosworth. Oh, it's never mind the bill hook stuff. So, oh, oh, oh. So yeah, that saves my having to dilemma next week because I'll be a peach farmer. Um, are you whose side are you on, Sharky? Are you reenacting or are you there as a punter? What else have I got on my notes? That's pretty much it. Oh yeah, that's a pretty good thing. Let me just I love this! Staple gun is one of the best things. One of the best things ever. I was staple gunning yesterday. But that is not what I'm showing you. I am showing you. Hey. Uh, I need to check. I'm trying to get back into the other partisan. I need to check if they're letting me. That that'll be a thing I'm doing. So I was talking about how I couldn't do any painting because my thing wasn't assembled. It is! I did it! I did it in the week. It took me all of 10 minutes. So there it is. It's from Hobby Zone. I don't know why my brain decided it was going to be really complicated. It's really not, and it's pretty cool. And I love this. I chose it for the smooth, so that I can put yeah, yeah. Look at that. Because I don't like the little holes that you get for paints. Takes a lot of I just think it's pointless. They don't need to have their own like their own little snug bit, but having them theirs, that's a wicked. That's wicked. Um, oh look, some wolves. So there's some Fenris dire wolves and my Fenrir who leads them. And I might even do that later. Who knows? Because it shouldn't take. That's why I chose them as the next ones because I'm like, I'll just dry brush them. Just dry brush them. They'll be done. So that's been sorted. So yeah, all in all, a very successful week, and I'm again really grateful that you're all being excellent about uh, the delay with the community minis. And the fact that I really suck getting back to your emails. So I'm gonna do a bunch of that today. It's drying very nice. See, that's what happens when I get a chance to just Annie's hairstyling tips for those with curly hair. Just let it dry. Don't run around. So yeah, always don't want to go. What am I gonna do now? Let me decide that. What will I do now? Gonna look at yesterday's handiwork, I think. If you're on Twitter, on Annie's Twitter rather than Bad Squiddo Twitter, I've posted a picture of a bit of it. Really happy with it. Yeah, I'll go when I decide what I'm going to do now. I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this book because I don't want to go horizontal. I'm going to take this book and I'm going to go in the hammock and read the Olga of Kiev bit. That's what I'm going to do. And thank you for coming along, as always. Thanks for supporting me, as always. You are all cool. Oh, another bit of news. I even got the compiled all the pledge managers and have got an order sent to the casters for the Kickstarter metal, and they are on it. They're on it already, as well as making sure I've got for like the bigger pledges that have existing stuff. Got all that all in order as well. See, it's been wicked. Right, thank you again. You are all ace. How do I get up here? Again, well done, Jez, for not stabbing himself and having like I was calling intestines sausages, and having sausages spilling out everywhere. I'm gonna read a bit of Viking stuff. And yeah, have a lovely end of the day and a lovely bye. I can never find it. I'm there going, where's the end button? There it is. I'm on it now. I'm on it now. Bye.